The night Armin almost quit, the world was silent. But his mind was louder than ever. His phone screen glowed in the darkness, filled with unfinished plans, half-written goals, and a long list of start tomorrow. Tomorrow had become his favorite lie. He stared at his reflection in the black mirror of the screen and whispered, "Why can't I just focus on what actually matters?" That question didn't leave him. It followed him into his sleep, into his dreams, into the quiet corners of his life where excuses had made a home. Armin wasn't lazy. That's what people misunderstood. He was overwhelmed. Every day, he woke up with 10 ideas, 15 distractions, and 0 direction. Social media told him to hustle. Friends told him to relax. His family expected stability. His heart wanted something bigger, but it didn't even know what that something was. He tried everything. One week, he decided to learn a new skill. 3 days later, he was watching random videos, convincing himself he'd get back to it. Another time, he started working out only to quit because he missed one day. His life wasn't falling apart in one big crash. It was slipping slowly, quietly, through small, repeated choices. The worst part wasn't failure. It was knowing he was capable of more. One evening, his younger sister sat beside him while he mindlessly scrolled. She had a notebook in her hand, filled with neat writing and highlighted goals. She looked at him and said something simple, something that hit harder than any lecture. Why do you start so many things but never finish?" He laughed it off, but her words stayed. That night, he couldn't sleep. He replayed every unfinished attempt, every broken promise to himself. It wasn't just about success anymore, it was about self-respect. Somewhere along the way, he had stopped trusting himself. The next morning, he decided something had to change. Not everything, just one thing. But even that felt impossible. He sat at his desk, staring at a blank page. No big dreams, no complicated plans. Just one question at the top. What actually matters? First, nothing came. His mind kept jumping from money to fame to comfort to approval. But deep down, beneath all the noise, there was a quiet answer he had been avoiding. Peace. He didn't want a perfect life. He just wanted a peaceful one. A life where he wasn't constantly chasing distractions. A life where he could look at himself and feel proud. Not because he did everything, but because he finished something. But just as he began to write his first real goal, doubt crept in again. What if you fail? Again? His hand froze. His chest tightened. The same fear that had stopped him before was back, and stronger than ever. And that's where everything could have ended. Again. But this time, something inside him refused to let go. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Even if I fail, I'll focus on what matters." That moment didn't change his life overnight, but it changed his direction. The first few days were hard, really hard. His mind kept pulling him back to old habits. He'd catch himself scrolling, wasting time, drifting. But instead of giving up, he started returning to that one thing that mattered. Again and again. He didn't chase 10 goals anymore, just one. He didn't try to be perfect, just consistent. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Slowly, quietly, something began to shift. The same person who once quit after 3 days started showing up on day 10, then day 20, then day 50. It wasn't easy. He still had bad days. Days when he felt stuck. Days when progress felt invisible. But now he didn't run from those days. He faced them, because for the first time he wasn't trying to do everything. He was focusing on what mattered. One evening he looked at his notebook, the same one that once felt empty. Now it was filled, not with hundreds of ideas, but with completed ones. Finished tasks, real progress. His sister walked in again, glanced at the pages and smiled. "You didn't quit this time." Armin smiled back, but his eyes said something deeper. "I stopped trying to do everything and started doing what matters." That was his real victory. Not success, not money, not validation. Control. Control over his time, his focus, his choices. And in that control, he found something he had been chasing all along: peace. Life didn't suddenly become perfect. Challenges still came. Distractions still existed. But now he had clarity. And clarity is powerful. Cuts through noise. It silences doubt. It reminds you that not everything deserves your attention. Because the truth is, your life doesn't change when you do more. It changes when you finally decide what matters and refuse to let it go. And maybe right now you're exactly where Armin once was, stuck between dreams and distractions, knowing you're capable of more but unable to move forward. If that's you, then remember this: you don't need to fix your whole life today. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need to be ready. You just need to choose one thing that truly matters and give it your focus. Because in the end, success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, consistently, even when it's hard. And the moment you learn to focus on what truly matters is the moment your life finally begins to change.